Hello friends, Intuitive Rene here, bringing you Taroscopes for the month of August 2022. Thank you so much for being here with me today. If you are used to my channel and familiar with Taroscopes, I do hope that you enjoy your reading. You can skip this intro and you can go straight into the reading. But if this is the first time that you are doing Taroscopes with me, welcome. Just to give you a little bit of information as to how the Taroscopes work, I record 12 separate individual readings for each sign of the zodiac, starting at Aries and going all the way through to Pisces and covering everybody in between. I then, in that particular reading, I'm connecting with the collective energy of that particular zodiac sign. I set the intention that it be applicable for sun, moon, or rising. So if you are an astrology nerd and you like all that information, you can obviously watch for your other signs as well. The intention behind these particular readings is just to give you insight into the month ahead, insight into, in this particular case, the month of August, to help you understand the energies that are going to be coming through, the circumstances that you may be dealing with, the situations that you may need to navigate, because obviously forewarned is forearmed. So if you know what's coming up, if you know the kind of energies, you know whether it's a good time to make big decisions or whether it's not, help you understand yourself a little bit more so that you can not waste unnecessary time and just get on and deal with the things that are important for the month ahead. The videos stay up all month long. Well, actually, they stay up all the time. So you can come back at any point during the month or even after the month, because it's quite nice to, after the month in question, to go back and look at the video to sort of connect the dots, if I can put it that way. I have quite a few people who do that, and then they message me and they say, wow, in retrospect, it's actually quite clear as to the things that transpired and happened. So I record one intro. So every single sign of the zodiac gets this one intro, just to save myself repeating and talking about, the same things 12 times. And then I'm going to flip the camera around so that you don't get to see the face, you get to see the hands only, and then we're going to do the reading. This month I'm changing things up. I do that from time to time. So if you like things to stay constant, this is probably not the place you want to be. I like to change things up because I just feel like, a change is as good as a holiday, but I also feel like changing it up every now and again just keeps it fresh. Okay. And that's what I'm all about, is keeping things fresh, keeping things in exciting and motivating and enthusiastic. So I am going to be working with quite a few decks in this particular month's session. So I'm not going to bore you now and go through all the decks. What I will do is put it into the description below. So if you are interested or curious about any of the decks that I've used, please do check out the description of this particular video. I'll have all of that information listed there for you. And to help you navigate and jump around between the different zodiac signs. So in other words, if you're watching your sign now and you want to go and watch a partner or a child or somebody else's, or you want to go and look at your moon sign or your rising sign, I will have the links to all of the other zodiac signs in the description box of this video as well. So if you read underneath, you will have all the information that you're looking for. I want to get straight into the reading. And please, if you haven't already done so, please do consider hitting that subscribe button. Click the bell as well if you enjoy the content that I put out for you. Click the bell so that you get the notification as soon as there's new content. I release content on a Sunday. I release a week ahead detailed reading that covers a lot of information. And then typically on a Thursday, I release some kind of inspirational reading for you, whether it be a pick a card reading, whether it be taroscopes, or whether it be just other inspiration from spirit that comes through. So if you do enjoy my content and enjoy this type of content, please do hit that subscribe button. And if you enjoy your particular zodiac reading, show some love and give the video a like and comment below as well. Remember, the more you engage and interact with the video, the more you are supporting me and the channel and the work that I do. So if you want to keep me coming back, show me some love. I'm going to flip the camera around and let's get into your reading. Hey Aries, welcome to your August 2022 Tarot. I have laid out the cards as you can see, and yes, we are doing a lot this month. And it's interesting because I certainly get that kind of feeling that there's a lot going on, which is why there was this feel for a lot of cards. I don't have a particular way that I'm going to read them this month. I'm just diving straight in and we're going to see what's coming through. I want to focus on our central core here because the central core that's coming through, Aries, for you is about, there's a lot going on. There's a lot that you're, I don't want to say struggling with. There's a lot that you're doing. There's a lot that's happening. And there's a lot of things that are you doing spontaneously. There's a lot of things that you're doing by just jumping straight into it. And maybe you need to be a little bit more thoughtful around what you need to do, how you need to do it, when you need to do it, and who you need to do it with. This particular card that's come through there is very much saying to you that there is some planning that is needed, all right? As much as there are plenty of opportunities, we mustn't be typical Aries and just jump in and hope for the best. If we take some time to think about it, if we take some time to strategize, we will actually be able to prevent the sadness, the hurt, the disappointment, the pain, etc. that's coming through. Now, I know, Aries, that, as I said, there's a lot of conflicting energies, especially when I look at this particular reading. There's a lot of conflicting energies coming through. And I know it's so typical of us Aries, to take risks. I know it's so typical of us to not really think and strategize and plan too much. We're more the kind of let's get busy and do stuff kind of person. But we have to understand that we've come out of a tricky situation. June, July were not easy. Okay, June, July were challenging months for Aries energy. June, July felt a little bit heavy, felt a little bit awkward, felt a little bit challenging. Okay, and we're now coming out of it where we can sort of see the light at the end of the tunnel, but there's still this kind of insecurity of, is the light at the end of the tunnel an oncoming train, or is it actually the exit? So we've got these kind of, I'm going to call them conflicting energies coming through. Now, I love that we've got the have faith and the taking risks right next to each other here. And as much as that is typical Aries energy, we're feeling so super secure. We know who we are. We know exactly what we're capable of, what we need to do. We know what it is. And we're not afraid to color outside the lines a little bit. We're so strong and confident and ready to shift forward that we don't really mind if we have to step on a toe or two to achieve the things that we want to. Now, when I look at the Seven of Swords over here, as I said, Seven of Swords is, to me, it's the card of planning. It's the card of strategy. It's the card of saying, if you're too quick to jump into a situation, you could actually find yourself suffering. You could actually find yourself in a Five of Cups scenario where there is sadness, overwhelm, difficulty, challenge, disappointment. And we want to avoid that as much as possible. But there is a lot that needs to be done. Now, Aries, I want to say to you, when I look at our 9 main cards that we have in the spread, we have got 1, 2, 3 cups. We have got 1, 2, 3, 4 swords. Okay, so swords is definitely the predominant suit that's come through for all of our Aries energy. Swords is the suit of the intellect, of the mind, of the thinking, of the strategies. So it definitely needs to be what August is about. So August, you're going to find yourself wanting this urge, this overwhelming urge to sort of jump in, to dive in, to get involved, to get busy, to do stuff. There's going to be this overwhelming urge to just get stuff done. We have to resist, Aries. We have to resist. We have to hold back a little bit. We have to hold back ever so slightly, because if we're just diving forward, if we're just jumping in, we're going to find ourselves burning fingers, burning toes, and finding challenge and difficulty. Now, this have faith card is basically telling you to have faith in yourself, to have faith in your in who you are in this situation and the circumstance, to have faith that everything's going to turn out the way that it needs to, the way that it should, and the way that you want it to. Have faith doesn't mean that you can sit on the couch and watch TV and expect everything to be okay. Have faith says, continue doing what you're doing, but have faith that it's going to work out as long as you've got a strategy. So have faith in the strategy, in the plan. Even if it halfway through and things look like they may be going south, that they may not be working out, have faith that they absolutely will. But taking risks, it is part of your nature. It is part of who you are. You are a risk taker. And August, because there's a lot going on, there is so much busyness taking place here. There is this kind of overwhelming feeling of wanting to take risks. And Spirit is sort of saying, Aries, I'm going to say to you, take careful risks, okay? Don't just take all the risks. Don't just be that confident, okay? Your affirmation for the month is, I am secure. And I think when doubt starts creeping in, when insecurities start creeping in, when those kind of emotions start creeping in, you can use that affirmation of, I am secure, I am secure, I am secure. We don't want to be feeling this. This is what last month was like, okay? Last month was very emotional, was very hard. I think we all had to face some deep, dark, hidden secrets, situations, circumstances, emotions that started coming up and started bubbling up, and it wasn't easy. And in typical Aries style, it's easy to just suppress the emotions instead of releasing them. But we need to release, we need to reveal and let it all go. All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty of the month of August. So there is a lot of strategizing that's needed. There's a lot of planning. There's a lot of kind of, right, what do I want to achieve? Okay, what do I want to achieve during this month? Maybe take a minute to actually write down some lists, okay? Write down work, relationship, emotions, finances, etc. What is it that you actually would like to achieve during the month? Let's set some goals, okay? We need to understand as well, Aries, that as much as you are confident and secure, as much as you are good at taking risks, as much as you are good at handling things on your own, we need to realize that you are so much better when you share yourself with somebody else, when you partner with somebody else, when you collaborate with somebody else. So it definitely looks like that is something that we need to be doing. And I am also going to tell you that this collaboration is going to bring you so much happiness and joy. And happiness and joy is the most important thing in this world. If you're doing things because you feel obligated to, then immediately there's this kind of yucky taste in your mouth. But if you're doing things because it brings you joy, suddenly everything just shifts and becomes better, happier, etc. We have this Five of Cups card that's come through twice for you here, Aries, and it is a bit of a concern. I say it's a bit of a concern, but it's not overly concerned because it is coming from our past. But there is still some lingering emotions that are hovering. So I am going to ask you during the month of August to just pay attention to your feelings. If you're feeling angry, do something about it. Release the anger, okay? Process the anger. Likewise, if you're feeling happy, if you're feeling elated, whatever the emotion is, just number one, let's do it here, you can see. Number one, acknowledge the emotion. Number two, process the emotion. And number three, allow the emotion. Give yourself permission to feel the feelings, the good feelings and the bad feelings. We can't just be on a high all the time. Life is up and down, up and down, up and down. And Aries, it's important that you acknowledge that. And again, typical Aries style, we don't really want to show the weakness. We don't really want to show the bad, the negative, the sad, the angry. We try and hide all of that. But it's important that we release. It's important that we process all the energies, all the emotions. Okay. So we do have a lot of, let me point to the right cards. We do have a lot of that's coming through. Now, what I do love here is our Queen of Pentacles. And I love the way that she's looking forward, the way that she's looking towards the future. And she's basically saying to you, once you've got your plan, once you know what it is you're dealing with and what it is that you want to achieve during the month, and you stay committed to that cause, you will actually achieve everything that you're looking for. But we need to understand that there is a lot of hard work, okay? Nothing's going to come easy. You have to do the effort. You have to put the steps in. You have to put the work in. The challenge that we have as well, Aries, looking at this, is the month of August, because there's so much going on, there's going to be this tendency to do more work and less of the other stuff that brings happiness into our lives. So the Temperance card coming through there is sort of reminding you to have balance in your life, to realize that yes, your goals are important. The things that you want to achieve are important, but the other thing that's also important and significant is having life balance. So you've got to find that balance between the effort that you put into everything that you do, the goals that you want to achieve, and the life that you are living, the life that you are creating for yourself. We need to make sure that through everything that we have balance. balance of emotions, balance of energy, balance of circumstance, balance of life. And I do think, Aries, looking at where we've come from, we haven't had enough of it in the past, which is why it's so critical in the month of August that we focus on getting, having, and appreciating and enjoying the balance that we have. Now, it's clear that actually, let's do it like that. It's clear that during the month of August, you're going to have to do things that are outside of your comfort zone. All right. It is clear in the month of August that you're going to have to process, speak out, communicate, express, deal with certain things that are outside of your comfort zone. And again, Aries, as much as we are secure, brave, risk takers, etc., we're also the kind of people who care. Okay. And we, as much as we are capable of speaking out and doing the things that we need to, there are going to be circumstances during the month of August where you're going to find yourself backed into a corner, where you're going to find yourself with your back up against the wall and not quite knowing how you got there or how to get out of it. And the only way that you're going to get out of it is to stay calm, to have faith, and to put the effort in to move yourself forward. Now, I know we've got a bit of glare on the table in the corner here, so you can't really see this particular card, but it is the card of love. And the little description at the bottom, it says, love, a steadfast embrace of the heart, flows through and from you at all times, for all time. So even though there are going to be times in the month of August where you're going to have to do things that are harsh, difficult, challenging, hard. I'm going to keep saying those words. Hopefully the message gets home. We need to make sure that we are doing everything from our heart space, because love is the most important thing. We have got so many connections with other people that are coming through in the reading for the month of August, but we need to make sure that we're not being hard for hard's sake. We need to make sure that we are being hard from a place of love, from a place of understanding, from a place of compassion. So you need to mind the way that you speak this month, okay? During the month of August, when you find yourself with your back up against the wall, when you find yourself in that challenging position, just stop, breathe, say, okay, I need to do this. I need to have this experience. I need to speak out. I need to say what's important, but let me do it from a place of love, compassion, and understanding, and not from a place of ego, fear, and doubt and insecurity. Okay. The other oracle card that we've got sort of hovering in the corner here is Sleeping Beauty's Dream. Now, let's just think about that kind of fairy tale for a minute. So Sleeping Beauty, all she wanted was everybody to be happy. All she wanted was for everybody to have the best life. But if we can say, vanity and greed and ego got in the way, and that's when she bit the poison apple, went into the sleep. But all she actually wanted was to take care of everybody, to love everybody, and for everybody to love her. So, and the only thing that freed her was love. And Aries, this is what we need to understand as we go through the month of August. We're going to face difficulties. Life is full of them. Okay, that's where we learn, that's where we grow, that's where we experience. And it's the way that we tackle it, it's the way that we handle it, the way that we deal with that. And if we can learn to do everything from a basis of love, without judgment, without ego, without expectation, with just unconditional love in our hearts, it's amazing how we won't have to experience the poison apple, and we will get the love, the acceptance, the validation that we're looking for. But it is going to require you to do something that maybe is going to make you feel a bit uncomfortable during the month of August. I really think you've got a lot to look forward to, okay? Because what I see in the bottom corner here is the Ace of Swords. So all of this that we're going to be going through during the month of August is basically going to, it's almost like these little light bulb moments, okay? One tiny little light bulb moment is maybe not going to have a huge impact on you, but many of them, continuous little light bulb moments that you will experience during the month, will ultimately bring you to the place where you want to be, the place of security, the place of belonging, the place of achieving goals. You know, Aries, if we look at this whole year so far, if we look at the whole 2022 so far, for you in particular, it certainly has been a roller coaster. We've had some good months, but we've had some bad months, and we've had some fantastic months. There's been no common ground. And I feel as if August is where everything sort of just calms down. Everything settles because it's like you're taking control. Okay? So whatever it is that you're going through, whatever it is that you're navigating in life at the moment, just take control with a plan, with a strategy, with an action, with a process. If you work on that to having a solid plan around everything that you do, the way that you do it, etc., I think you'd be amazed at the ideas that sort of these little light bulb moments that come to you and the solutions that you find. But I am going to bring you back to the fact that there is going to be something that you have to do in the month of August, which is not going to be fun. It is something that's going to be difficult for you to process, for you to explain, for you to understand, and for you to navigate. But if you just take the time to think about it, you will. Just to bring judgment back into it, temperance back into it over there. Temperance is basically saying to us, Aries, that, there is a lot going on. You are frantically busy. I'm sure you don't have 5 minutes to yourself. And if you have 5 minutes to yourself, there is this guilt that comes around with it. Like, oh my gosh, I've taken 5 minutes to sit and I shouldn't. And I should be busy and I should be doing this and I should be doing that. And I can't afford to slack and I can't afford to slow down. But actually, if you keep going while your petrol tank is emptying, you will eventually stop. And then you're going to be so far from the petrol station, it's going to be a bigger challenge, a bigger problem. If you realize that you are tired, if you realize that you are exhausted, if you realize that it's been a day, if you're having a bad day, take time out for yourself, because we need to find balance. It is just as important as it is to have goals around business, work, relationships, etc. It's also important to have those same goals around fun, life, balance. And that is the message from the Temperance card. Aries, there's a lot of social opportunities for you in the month of August, I can see. And normally we would turn them down because we're too busy with other stuff. I am going to encourage you that during the month of August to accept them, okay? Because one of the things that I am seeing collectively here is connections with other people. There seems to be a lot more connections with other people, a lot more, let me rephrase that, a lot more important connections with other people. And it's the kind of connections that you need to pay attention to, and it's the kind of connections that you need to navigate. But understand it is going to be a crazy busy month. There is not a lot of relaxation time. It's go, 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 go. Understand that if you don't have goals, it's just going to feel manic. Okay? But if you have goals, have your goals like your big goals for the month, break them down per week so that you know what you're working on, because that'll help you to keep the balance. But just know that you are okay. Just know that you are secure. We are not focusing on the past. We are not focusing on the disappointment. We are not focusing on the things that have gone wrong previously. We're leaving that in the past. And we're now bringing ourselves to a place of realizing that we can work with other people to achieve our goals, to achieve the happiness that we're looking for. And all the ideas are going to spark. It's like I get this kind of image of all these little light bulbs. These light bulb moments, and it's not all at the end of the month. It's not like we're building up to that. It's going to be continuous throughout the entire month of August. So take risks with those light bulb moments. Have faith in yourself. Constantly remind yourself that you are secure, but don't take risks without the plan. Now, I know that sounds crazy, but if you plan accordingly and you plan for the risks, etc., you will probably avoid them. But if you go into it blind, if you go into it blindfolded, you're probably going to stand more chance of failure. So Aries, lots of love and blessings to you. It's going to be a crazy busy month, but I know you've got this, okay? And I know your intentions are good, and I know the everything that you're putting into it is really, really good. Love is the most important thing. So even when you're doing the harsh things, even when you're doing the things that are difficult, do it from a place of love. Do it with unconditional, compassionate love in your heart, and I promise you it'll be easier for you to do and for the other person to receive the message. So do everything from a place of love. Make sure that you have balance so that you have a little bit of fun as well. Work hard, play even harder, and August will be a breeze. Lots of love and blessings from my heart to yours. And until we connect again, take care, Aries.